So we're very happy to have a great community here. And don't forget, we have an iPad Pro to give away soon. Who wants?
second lives, but no second chances, and death is never the end. Life echoes, just listen. We will fly to where no one has flown through these gates, hides a secret unknown. Pilots gather, the suns have risen. Will you come and fly with me, no matter where, no matter how? When will stories come to be? It's time, it's now. Together we will ride on the wings of hope. Forever we will sail these ships of destiny. Life and death are holding each other close. All of us will burn for our faith and be the light of eternal memory. Stars reach into our hearts, they shine in us, darkness departs. Fear is strong, but we are stronger. Leaping over stars to the edges of space, our hands reach out to touch the face of the gods that live in us. Will you come and fly with me, no matter where, no matter how? When will stories come to be? It's time. Together we will ride on the wings of hope. Forever we will sail these ships of destiny. Life and death are holding each other close. All of us will burn for our faith and be the light of eternal memory. Will you come and fly with me, no matter where, no matter how? When will the stories come to be? It's time, it's now. Would you come and fly with me, no matter where, no matter how? When will the stories come to be? It's time. Together we will ride on the wings of hope. Forever we will sail these ships of destiny. Life and death are holding each other close. All of us will burn for our faith and then for the dreams that guide us to our sacred souls. We are in a fight for our chapter in history. Life and death are holding each other close. We will fight for our faith. We are the light of eternal memory.
Good evening, everyone. We have our first year anniversary for Eve Echoes coming to you live and with our guests, Melos and Dennis.
Hi.
Hi there.
We'll be introducing a lot of content coming out in the anniversary update, future content, as well as a ton of prizes through our giveaways we'll be giving out. Make sure you stay tuned in, as the quiz questions and giveaway codes we're providing will only appear for a few minutes at a time. Let's begin. Tell everyone more about yourselves.
Hi everyone, I'm Melos, game designer from Eve Echoes team, and I believe some of you have met me before in previous videos, and I'm very glad to meet you guys again.
Hi folks, I'm Dennis. I'm also game designer on EV Echoes team. I'm working on faction war games, partly participating in event creation, and also help our Joseph with the Russian community.
Yes, you do. And let's move on to our recap with some interesting data from the time Eve Echoes first launched up until now. We have experienced a lot in the past year. Do you guys have anything you want to add on to this?
Yes, it's very interesting to see all this coming through, happening in this brand new universe. We have seen a lot of like new corporations, alliances rise and fall in the past 1 year, and we have seen people are doing a lot of marketing, PvE, PvP, and also industry content in the past 1 year. And I'm very glad to see this everything happening again in this brand new universe.
Yeah, it's like very interesting to see how data accumulated over 1 year, and in day-to-day activities you are not realizing how large project is.
Right, and is there anything interesting or impressive that you want to bring up during the development process for the last year?
Yeah, I remember one story when we started our maintenance practice. It's like how we create our special medal A26, if I'm right. Like we had
A26 medal, yeah.
Yeah, A26. We had one maintenance that we spent around 12 hours in a row, and most of programmers and game designers were included in this process. Like, yeah, we got a bug with drones that make some effect to our data. Yeah, it was like terrible experience for us. But in some months we also improved our maintenance process, and now we strictly follow our timeline of it.
Right.
Yes, that one is pretty impressive because we are having 2-hour maintenance every week, and we all thought everything are doing great, and when we starting up the server, like the database started to shutting down. Like we tried several times, like every time when we start the server and the database shut down, and actually we are not very clear about what the reason behind that, and we spent a lot of time trying to figure it out, and we even set up a test server. Like we don't have test server before. Like we only set up a test server for 2 hours to solve that problem.
Right.
And our programmers, they try to revert all code from the past few weeks and through day to day. Like they check the code of each day to try to figure out which part makes everything went wrong. And they really did a great job. Like we spent painful hours, and but finally we fixed it, and all the maintenance after that went pretty good. So I really appreciate the hard work our programmers they did, and they are great.
Great, and that's how the A26 medal was born. Thanks for all the support we've had from all of you over the past year. To help celebrate our anniversary, let's start off with our very first giveaway. Are you all ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We'll be giving out 5 $100 Google Play gift cards to 5 winners who can answer this question correctly. What's the name of the song we made in celebration of our 1-year anniversary? Be sure to just type the name of the song in the chat, and then our bot will randomly select 5 winners.
Have you added the song in your playlist?
Yeah, of course.
Me too. Alice?
Me too.
How often do you listen to it?
Very often. It's like in my daily playlist.
Actually, I joined the creation of this song in the very early stage.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm not a musician. I just give some feedbacks.
Yes, he was actually, Melos is integral to the design of this song.
Not all of them, just
Part of it, right. So I hope you typed in your answers, and then we will be choosing winners, which you'll see in the chat. And the winners will be posted later in chat. And if you won, be sure to contact me, Joseph, on Discord. And if you didn't win, don't worry. We'll be giving out a lot more throughout the live stream. Let's get into some of the content coming up in our anniversary update, which is next week, August 5th. Dennis will be introducing faction war games. You ready?
Yeah, Joseph, I'm ready. Thank you. And I want to present the faction war games that I am working on like 6 months. For us, it's like a framework for future modes that will be trainee playground for PvP for newcomers. We want to present the first mode. It will be 10 versus 10. Real PvP, you have 15 minutes battle. You need to collect more NPC kills than your enemy, or just like to reach exact number, it's 6. You need to reach in 6 NPC kills, and you will win this battle.
Okay, so it's the first. So it's a 15-minute battle, and it's the first team to get the 6 kills wins, or at the end of 15 minutes, it's the team with the most kills wins.
Exactly.
And it's 10 versus 10.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Also, we part of Faction War Games. We implemented a ranking system. Ranking system related to LP store access levels. I did not mention that LP, it's like loyalty points, concept from EVE Online, but for in our case, we will use it as a reward for only War Games battles. And you can spend loyalty points at special loyalty points store. It will be part of new add-on store as the same as we have Concord Pass store.
Okay, so it's like its own type of store, but it's just specifically for faction war games.
It's specifically for loyalty points.
For loyalty points, and then you'll also gain ranking, which gives you access to different things in the loyalty point store.
Yes, it's strictly related to your ranking. We have 4 levels of access to LP store, where you can buy different nanocores, fraction drones, and on the highest level of access you can buy Mordu and Sisters of Eve debris.
Yeah. Mordu's Legion and Sisters of Eve?
Yes.
Why didn't we release that earlier?
Because you know, like only one way to get debris in our game, it's you need to kill anomalies. But mostly anomalies occupied by pirates faction. But
right. So if you're farming anomalies.
Yeah.
Right.
And Mordu and Sisters, they are not pirates. This is why we did not release it like early, because like we just like waiting for a nice chance where we can add it.
But this is a good place to add them.
Yeah, I think so.
And what else is like special about like faction war games? There's like a lot of ships in it, right?
Yeah, you can like players can choose over than 30 pre-fitted ships. It's a very important point because you cannot customize your models. Yeah, it's like part of our balance, because like we want to provide more fairy battles for everyone, and it's a bit complicated to do if you have like all scopes of our ships. This is why we choose like around 30, like put the exact fitting for it and try to make balance inside this choice. Yeah.
And then so you select from a pre-fitted ship, and then when you die in faction war games, do you lose anything?
No, there is no any lose,
no loss
and
at all.
This is why one of the main point for newcomers, because you know it's pretty hard to farm for one ship, especially when you are new in our new add-on. Yeah, this is like why we faced with the problems that like new players, they don't like PvP. Why? Because they have a really like fear of losses, and with this mechanic we try to reduce these feelings. Yeah. And they can choose, as I mentioned, over 30 ships. Even if your ship destroyed during battle, you shouldn't be scary. You can be respawn and choose another ship. This is like in this way, during one battle, you can like try a lot of ships.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. What are like, so can anyone join? Like, how do you get into this?
Yeah, we have like special requirements that like tech level 5.
Tech level 5.
It's like enter level for that you can join battle. Because like we decided not to involve less than tech level 5, because also our skill points make effect to all your ship bonuses and attributes. This is why we think that like only after tech level 5 it will be more fair to put people inside battles.
So basically it's just for balancing reasons within faction war games.
I think that it's like more for fairy battle, like, you know, because like battle you cannot join battle with your friends, you cannot join battle with your fleet.
Okay, so it's like a solo queue. You can only queue up yourself. Okay.
Yes, exactly. Most of the time the players will face with the strangers, and this is why like we care about more fair battles.
Okay. And but this like solo queue, is it going to be for every mode or just this mode?
Yeah, as I said, we are going to implement more modes, and it's just like for this first mode. We are pretty open to feedbacks, and during the test that we had, we gathered a lot of feedbacks about these points as well. Yeah. And future mode, we hope that we will implement at least ability to choose your modules. And to invite your friends.
Yeah, we ran an internal test actually last month of faction war games, and it was a lot of positive feedback.
Most of feedbacks were positive, and also players provide to us very good ideas how we can improve it.
Yeah, great. I'm quite excited about this, and so. Yeah, you already decided that Mordu's Legions and Sisters of Eve ships were already, you didn't want to, of course you can't farm them in anomalies, so we put them in the arena.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay, great.
Also one of the important point that we changed the UI, because like a war game, it's like simulated environment.
Yes.
And this is why we changed the main battle UI. In this case, like it's very easy to check your score, also to check your teammates' stats. We have a progress bar for armor, for shields, for each player. If your teammates on respawn, we showing the timer of respawn, and also we add ability to check all positions of your teammates and enemies on the map.
So it's like a redesigned UI just for faction war games. And can you join fleets? Or
I already said that you cannot join fleets, but we replace this. We try to replace this functionality with quick responses and quick replies.
Okay.
You can warp exactly one of the 4 points. You see where you are, and you can ask help from your teammates, and you can quickly reply to this. And also, chat is available for you. Yeah.
Okay. Great. And I mean, players have been asking for this, like arena-style combat ever since launch. So I think this is great.
Yes.
And
actually, like I have this idea when I was playing Eve, and even before the release of Eve Echoes, and just at the beginning of this year, and our team finally approved this idea to add a standalone arena-style combat gameplay into the game. So this is pretty important, and also this is the first mission of Dennis as a designer in our team. So Dennis did a very great job, and we received a lot of positive feedbacks, and I believe this is very valuable to new players, because I know even myself, like we are very interested in PvP, but we also afraid of loss. So to have some place to try around PvP is very important without losing your ship.
This has definitely helped with a lot of newer players, or even just older players with trying out new fits and new ships.
Yes.
Yeah. Who's ready for another giveaway?
Oh.
You guys want another giveaway?
Yeah. Let's share.
Okay. So this one won't be a question. It'll just be a prize code. So the first prize code is Eve Echoes 2021. And what do you get if you redeem this? You'll get 10,000 skill points.
10,000.
10,000.
2 weeks of maintenance.
2 weeks of maintenance.
Wow.
Be sure to redeem it at eveechos.com/giftgrab. You can find the link on the screen, and please note that this can only be redeemed once per account, and it has an expiration date, so make sure you redeem it as soon as possible. And that is Eve Echoes 2021. So it'll show up for a few more minutes, but in the meantime, let's get in a little bit more about how we're going to help with PvE players instead of just PvP for new exploration sites. Would you like to get into details about this?
Yes, of course. So we will introduce some new content to the exploration players and also industry players. So after the anniversary update, there will be some pirate data relic sites in this universe around both high-sec and null-sec and low-sec. And you are able to use scanners to find them and use a special data analyzer to hack the cargo inside the relic site to get special rewards. And those rewards are we have put some ship rig blueprints and also a very important new item, which is industry decoder. So for now, when industry players try to start a manufacturing job or start a reverse engineering job, they are able to put some decoders into that job, and this will help them to reduce the material cost and maybe reduce the production time. And this will have some drawback. So if you reduce the material cost, you need to spend more time to build on this. If you want to reduce the production time, you need to spend more material. And basically, this will put more strategy for industrial players to manage their production and to think about how to make profit by this. And
then for the players that find exploration too dangerous, these should be relatively safer, right?
Yes, because they are relics. There is no alive pirates inside of that. So basically, this will be a more casual and easy gameplay for PvE players.
And this should also help with trade, with economy for...
Yes, because trading is always the key point of Eve Echoes. And when we're designing new items into the game, we will always firstly think of how would this influence the trading, influence this economic system. So that's why we put this into the exploration players. So when the PvE or exploration players, they get the decoders, they can sell this to their industry friends, and they can have good cooperation on this. And maybe this could be may have some impact to the market.
That's great. Do you plan on doing these sites, Dennis?
Yeah, I do. I also like doing PvE as well.
Yeah. Okay, great. We're not just improving the experience for existing players, but we will also be improving the experience for players who have just joined New Eden through a full remake of the new player experience / tutorial. Could you give us some details on this, Dennis?
Yeah, sure. It's a very important point of us because we realized that we did some mistakes on the first hour tutorial. We faced with the problem that at first it's too short, because EVE universe very complicated, a lot of rules, a lot of models, a lot of attributes, and players cannot get it spontaneously in very short time of period. And the second problem that we faced with, we have basic tutorial that very easy for understanding but too short, and we have advanced tutorial that very difficult for newcomers to get the main points. This is why we totally modified, and on this release we want to present you new tutorial system. It's more friendly. You can see the progress of items that you are reaching, or if you're changing ship, you see difference in special UI, you see difference in the slots, in characteristics, special hints that we providing now. It's a bit different because like before we have separated window and try to show it with like a video, but now we showing exactly button of it.
Yeah, it looks nicer. Looks a lot nicer.
Thanks. And why I mentioned that it's more friendly. Before we had like, for instance, case that when you have a mission, tutorial mission to join corporation, like you cannot just skip it. You cannot avoid to use it. Every time it's remind you, it's pushing players to do it. But now like we are more friendly in this. If you don't want it, you just like can skip it. If you want to go through a new tutorial, you can easily join it.
So basically, there's going to be more missions to get you better acquainted with every aspect, and it's not going to force certain missions on you as hard, like join a corporation.
Yes. Like, and most of missions now is like a simulation. We put a lot of content, additional dialogues, and try to involve players more and more how to use models in real actions.
What do you think of all of this?
Yes, actually, we designed a lot of tutorial missions for this, and we try to borrow a lot of ideas from some real scenario in the gameplay. So, for example, like we have a special mission, like you are play as a miner trying to escape from a miner hunter, and another mission like you need to kill a fast speed frigate with a slow ship, use your webs, try to stop it and shoot him. And also in some mission like you need to learn about kiting and learn about the capacitors, something like this. So we are trying to borrow the ideas from real scenarios to help people like get more close with actual gameplay instead of only talking about the instructions and operations.
Right. I mean, it's basically learning through more actual practice of real New Eden scenarios.
Yes.
Right. Oh, that's great. And anything else you'd like to add about the UI changes we made?
Yeah, as I said, like it's like additional hints, easily to check progress, and pretty friendly UI that we have now. Like I like it more than previous one.
Yeah, I mean it's completely remade. So I think new players should definitely enjoy this a lot more. But so we're helping out the new players. We're helping out people training PvP. We're helping out some PvEers. But I mean, what about corporations? I mean, what about citadels? I know you keep working on things related to corporations. These support structures are officially called corporation ancillary structures in Eve Echoes, right? Would you like to introduce them?
Basically, I want to start this story from the beginning. Like we released Corporation Outpost last year, at the end of last year, and players are able to capture the zero-sec region and build their base there. And we all know that the cost of the outpost is relatively high, and players like it's very hard to. I mean, the ROI is not that good for that. Like players are spending too much too much material on this, but they are not feeling like they received enough reward or received enough feedback on this. So actually we have a full plan of this. Like we have planned some support structures around the Corporation Outpost to help you to get more benefit on this, but due to some development reason, so we have to separate them, split them, and release the outpost first. And at the very beginning, like we are deciding to release those support structures in a series of minimal updates. But after carefully discussion, we think we believe that we should have a more complete plan on this. So that's why we put them together and put them into a big update in this anniversary update.
Great. And how do these support structures work exactly? Like what types are there?
So basically for this update, we will release 6 different types of structures, and they are mainly divided into 2 groups. One is industry structures, which will increase and decrease the material cost and increase the reverse engineering success rate. Right. And another group is the bounty reward structures. So basically they will provide bonus to the player who are farming the anomalies. Like basically they will there is one called tax center and another one called bounty management center. Both of them will give you extra ISK from killing the pirates. And we divide this we divide the rewards to the individual players and the corporation. So the bounty reward the bounty management center will give players a bounty bonus when they're killing the pirates. And at the same time, the tax center will give additional ISK to the corporation wallet directly. And this part is separated from the corporation tax. They are basically those ISK are paid by Concord. So players there is nothing taken away from the player who are farming the anomaly. So we are doing this is mainly because we know that players always have some conflict and strict relationship with the tax problem with their corporation. So that's why when we are trying to design the bounty reward, we try to divide it, or try to divide them, so to help the corporation and the individual players to have a better relationship. So they don't need to spend too much energy like arguing about the tax problem.
That's great. And in addition to these, I think we have one more structure, right?
Yes. So there's one more structure called Pirate Opposition Array, and this is also what we want to introduce, provide to the players to solve their problems. So we all know that when you are farming in the non-sec region, you have a lot of trouble trying to figure out which anomaly should be killed first to get some special anomaly like scout anomaly and increase the anomaly to be spawned in the space. And this will spend a lot of energy trying to figure out all this mechanic. So from now on, when you anchored a pirate opposition array, we will put a mark on the anomaly beacon. So you are able to figure out the source of this anomaly. If the source is a base, that means this anomaly has some potential to respawn as a scout or increase the anomaly. And some unknown source means these are natural anomalies that spawn from the system. And in addition, like the pirate opposition array will also mark the owner of this anomaly. So when you warp into the anomaly and kill the pirate, and this array will mark that anomaly with your names. So when players when they have some conflict or when they have some argument on hey, this is my anomaly, I came here first, you should go away, like those kind of conflicts. Right. We are trying to help players to get more easier on this and spend less energy to conflict with your cooperation friends, like put your energy to your enemies, right? So that's why we have this.
Focusing on destroying your enemies, not bickering amongst court mates.
Yes.
Right. And it looked like we have some news. There's a network error on the gift grab website. We're fixing the problem, and we will let you know once it's fixed. So if you couldn't redeem it now, just wait. Once we fix it, then you could redeem it. So don't worry. If you have the code, just wait. Thanks for your patience. And I think back to the corporation support structures, there's something else huge about this, right? About citadels and structures.
Yes. I will spend some time to explain the comeback mechanic of the support structures. So basically, people might worry about we have a lot of structures and we have to put a lot of energies to defend everything. So basically, I mean, so those support structures, they are protected by your corporation outpost. So before your corporation outpost is destroyed by your enemy, all the support structures is indestructible. And your enemies can attack them and push them into a reinforced state. But after it reached the reinforced state, and at the end of the reinforced timer, it will jump back to the full health state. So you don't really need to worry about your support structure get destroyed by your enemy. And also there is some drawback on this. Like after your support structure was pushed into the reinforced state, all the bonus will be cut to 30% and even 20% of efficiency. So basically, we want to give the attackers some more scenario, like more strategies to thinking of when they trying to roaming in the enemy space. Like they have additional method to interrupt the farming, interrupt the production of your enemy. And at the same time, the defenders, they don't need to spend too much energy to really afraid of losing all those structures. That's how we deal with this design. So, and one more thing I want to introduce here is we are going to put upgrade mechanic to all the corporation related structures, like corporation outpost and all the support structures. And especially for the corporation outpost, when you upgrade the corporation outpost to level 2 and above, and it will also become indestructible. And in that scenario, players need to use a new type of special module called Entrances Link, okay. Which this concept is also borrowed from EVE Online. Right. So you need to use Entrances Link to capture when the outpost was pushed into the structure. I mean the last reinforcement state, and it will go to a new state called lost control. And when a outpost is lost control, anyone can use Entrances Link to capture that outpost. And by doing this, we are hoping to reduce some, stress or on defending on your structure, or reduce some cost. Reduce some loss on this. This will be a little bit weird because, when you are thinking of everything taken by your enemy, it looks like you are suffering larger loss than before. But actually, you are able to, use the asset safety warp to take something from your captured outpost and to form a revenge fleet and to take everything back. So we hope that players can put more concentration or put more energy on fighting with each other. Like all the lost will become combat lost. Like instead of destroying the very expensive outposts or spend too much energy, like rebuild everything again.
Right.
I mean, this will be easier for you, like for some small groups, because they only need to defend several spots, like several outposts. But for so by doing this, I hope players can have easier life in Osaka region.
Yes, it's extremely expensive to lose a citadel.
Yes.
So after next week's update, so for the anniversary update, these will all by default be level 1. So you just need to upgrade it one time.
Yes, like you only need to upgrade one time, like everything will work as I said before.
Right.
And also, we tried a very interesting mechanic on the upgradation process. So the corporation director, they are able to initiate the upgrade operation. And after that, like everyone from the same corporation, they are able to donate the material, the structure parts, to help the upgrade the outposts and other structures. Like we are trying to see, like can we involve more kind of cooperative gameplay into our cooperation system.
That's great. And this is a game changer. It's going to add a ton to sovereignty. I'm glad we're finally able to add all of this to give more value to sovereignty mechanic and citadels. And so let's get more into future content. But before we do that, how about we do another giveaway? Are you all ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Now we are on to our second quiz question for our giveaway. For this giveaway, we're giving out 2 pairs of AirPods Pro. 2. We will randomly select 2 winners from those who provide the correct answer in chat, and we will announce the winners on the live stream chat. Okay, are you ready? What's the name of the module used to capture a citadel? Type it out.
I know.
Do you want to type it out?
I cannot. But can we join?
You can find a computer. So while you're typing, so all you need to do is just type the answer, and then our bot will randomly select 2 winners to receive AirPods Pro. Okay. So while you're doing that, let's move on to our future content. We have a lot of content coming up, and let's check out this teaser trailer in a future update. For a future update. Wow. What do you think of all that? Would you like to start us off with this first part of this, Dennis?
Yeah, I hope it will be the next change after our new citadels to the main gameplay, because we want to implement now for October release capital ships.
October.
New capital ships, dreadnoughts and aircraft carriers. We wanted to bring more exciting and more large battles for a new Eden. Yeah. If someone does not known with dreadnoughts, they have not so huge DPS. But if you put a special known as siege modules, from a mobile ship it became the stationary weapons platform, and this brings to you ton of damage from the dreadnought, and also you can have resistance bonuses, especially electronic warfare bonus.
So basically you're just sacrificing the ability to move for tons of damage and resistance.
Yeah, for high DPS. Yeah.
Which is I'm sure is gonna be useful when trying to take out Citadel.
Yeah.
Right.
At least for this.
For this, and I mean it's nice, but we're gonna add even more ships, like you mentioned, carriers. Is that correct?
Yes, we will, and we will add 4 dreadnoughts and 4 aircrafts carriers.
Carriers, yes.
For each Empire faction, and total it will be 8 capital ships. According to carriers, like they can launch, if you know, light fighters, and it can be very useful for destroying frigates, destroyers, and like also cruisers. You can put a special networked sensor array model to increase scan resolution, that it's more easily to lock, more quickly to lock small ships. And yeah, this is what we are going to release in October.
Right, and you're releasing. They're all being released together, right?
Yeah, 8 capital ships will be released in October.
Okay, great. And they're all being released in October. How about the larger ships? Sometime in the future, right?
Yes, we're not mentioning it yet.
So for now, it's going to be 4 dreadnoughts and 4 carriers this October, and then we have designs for larger capital ships.
Yeah, you're right.
Great. And what do you think about this?
Actually, I'm a big fan of carrier because I spend a lot of time flying a carrier in EVE Online, and I know that carrier is a very important role in nullsec and also in lowsec. It's a very great ship for farming the rats, farming the pirates. I mean, and also it's a very powerful ship in sovereignty battles. So I'm really excited to see the carrier coming out on EVE Echoes, and I really want to do this again in EVE Echoes.
Awesome. And I think what's interesting, I guess, design challenge is, I mean, putting the fun of carriers into EVE Echoes.
Oh yes, exactly. Because we all know that in EVE Online, like when you're trying to pilot a carrier, like you are in a kind of RTS style of control, like you have to select and group your fighters and trying to command them with a lot of bottom. Like there's so many bottoms to control a carrier, and this will be a big challenge to us, and we will try to simplify the control of the fighters a little bit, and trying to find a good balance on this.
Great. So it's going to be very similar to EVE Online, but for EVE Echoes, we're going to have 2 different fighters. One targets frigates and destroyers, and the other targets cruisers, and then it's going to be a little bit more simplified controls.
Yes.
Great. And then let's get to our prize code, but it seems like they're so popular that our website's experiencing some technical difficulties. Please be patient with this. As the codes aren't disappearing, it's just going to delay your ability to redeem it, but you just need to wait a little bit. You'll be able to redeem it later. Please don't worry. We'll make sure we'll make sure you're covered. So don't worry about that. We're doing our best. And yeah, but for this code, so we're going to give out this code. The second code is EVE 2021 EVE, and you can get a special ship skin crate from redeeming this code. But as the website is laggy, you're going to have to wait a bit. So I guess we'll just make it last a little bit longer. And yeah, so you have those 2 codes, but it's not the end of our giveaways. We'll be giving out an iPad Pro.
Ooh.
iPad Pro towards the end of the live stream. So pay attention, stay tuned, and be patient. And oh yeah, so in addition to these 8 capital ships, we also have a way for players to contribute to real science through our upcoming Project Discovery. Here's a video from Dr. Leonard Martins, the main researcher behind our first science project.
Hello, my name is Lennart Martens. I'm a professor at Ghent University and a group leader at VIB in Ghent, Belgium. With my team of computational researchers, I analyze large-scale biological data to find interesting patterns. But I'm really here today to announce that we are bringing Project Discovery to Eve Echoes, so that you, the Eve Echoes players, can help us analyze our data. You see, we came across an interesting puzzle in our data, which we managed to turn into a really cool mini-game. And by playing this mini-game, you will be able to help us understand the role of proteins in disease. This is really important, because proteins are the molecules that do all of the work in our cells. And when something goes wrong with these proteins, it very often leads to disease. Now, the first step to a cure is to find out which proteins go wrong. And that is precisely what we intend to do together in Project Discovery. So I hope that you are as excited as we are about this prospect of working together within Eve Echoes. And I hope to see you all very soon. Fly safe, pilots.
Wow, that's a lot of science. Melis is designing the way for us to interact with this in the game, right?
Yes. I'm a big fan of science. I really love science. I can remember chemistry was my favorite subject when I was in high school, and this is a very important opportunity for me and also Eve Echoes team to have the opportunity to cooperate with real scientists and contribute to the science. And I will basically we will cooperate together and trying to design a mini game to help to let the players to join the science research by matching the data sets to help to improve the accuracy of the research result. And besides that, we will also try to put additional rewards to encourage players to join this big event. Maybe there will be some ships, maybe some special skins, and you will see this soon.
Great. I mean, that's great to have a designer who's in love with science. Also design a minigame for Project Discovery.
Indeed.
Indeed.
I also love science, and I remember our first meeting with Dr. Leonard. He told us a lot about proteins, showed different formulas, and I even cannot imagine that I will be part also of this, because for commercial project, it's now point of proud to tell in the future your grandkids about that you participate in something huge like this.
Yeah. Your grandkids' kids, great-grandkids.
As well.
Yes, as well. Oh, that's great. Well, I mean, as you can see, we have a lot of content coming out in the anniversary update, as well as a lot of content coming out in the future. But this isn't everything. We'll share more later on. But for now, here's a word from CCP Games and the Eve Echoes dev team.
大家好，我是 Eve Echoes 的制作人苏伟。
I'm Joseph, Community Manager for Eve Echoes.
Eve Echoes 已经上线运营1年，在这1年中，因为很多玩家的支持，我们比过去多了很多故事。
A year ago, Eve Echoes launched as a faithful mobile recreation of the Eve Online experience, which was a monumental achievement.
We are sincerely proud and honored to see that Eve Echoes continues to be enjoyed and supported by so many players, and we embrace every one of the 4 million players who have come to New Eden on mobile.
A year later, it's incredible to see Eve Echoes starting to take its own path while still embodying the spirit of Eve.
在我们开始运营的这1年中，我们的团队从纯粹的游戏开发转变为边开发边运营。在这个过程中，我们遇到了一些问题和困难，在很多玩家的帮助下，我们逐渐克服了这些问题，并且推出了湮灭空间、扫描等玩法。在这里，我代表开发团队对全体玩家表示感谢。
With Eve Echoes being out for 1 year now, I know we've had our ups and downs, but all of us here are extremely grateful for your continued support.
I truly believe that EVE Echoes will continue to provide a gateway into the player-driven universe and endless possibilities of EVE Online, delivering that authentic EVE experience to mobile gamers long into the future. At CCP, we have always dreamed about allowing players to be ever closer to the stars and have access to their interstellar empires via mobile devices.
I hope that EVE Echoes continues to be a bridge to the EVE metaverse for mobile gamers. And I can't wait to get my hands on the amazing things on the horizon.
希望每一个生活在新一店中的玩家都能找到属于自己的快乐。
Happy birthday, Eve Echoes.
生日快乐 ，Eve Echoes. Happy birthday.
And here's a word from our players.
Ahoy there! I'm Captain Benzi, a content creator from Zimbabwe in Africa.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Yuka Fort and I'm an EVE Echoes Senior Official Content Creator from Romania.
I'm Damon Zell and this is your EVE Echoes 1-year anniversary celebration.
To me, EVE Echoes was the perfect opportunity to jump back into New Eden.
And in 2019, when EVE Echoes was announced for mobile, I immediately got into the betas.
I remember first getting my hands on this game back in the beta, having those huge stress testing battles with the developers. And this first year, we've seen empires rise and fall.
So EVE Echoes launched in 2020, and here we are, close to our first year anniversary.
So happy birthday, EVE Echoes. Thank you ever so much to NetEase, and here's to many years more as we sail off into a glorious new future.
And with this, I would like to transmit to you guys, fly dangerously, because safe is boring.
So from Echoes of the Front to the EVE Echoes community, happy birthday, and enjoy your EVE Echoes 1-year anniversary celebration.
Okay, so there's a lot of questions. The players are asking a lot of questions in chat, and we'll get back and be able to answer all of them later on. But first, who wants an iPad Pro?
Me.
You? Do you want one?
Can we win?
Oh, you can't have one because we're going to give it to people in chat.
I can really have one, of course I want that.
Oh, well,
okay, let's share with the players.
So, yeah, this will be our final question for our giveaways. This is for the iPad Pro 2021. There's only one winner for this, so it's a tough one. What is the launch date for EVE Echoes? So when you type in your answer, you just make sure you type in 4 numbers. So for example, May 17th will just be 0517. So I repeat, what is the launch date for EVE Echoes? Just type in 4 numbers. So example, 0517 for May 17th, or 0318 for March 18th. We're going to choose one winner from those who answer the question correctly. And I know you have a lot of questions, and we're going to be able to get to them very soon.
Do you have some hints for this question?
Hints?
Mm-hmm.
Hints? Our birthday?
I don't think they'd need...
We both have birthday, very close to this date.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so the hint is the birthdays are near the launch date.
Yep. Actually, we have four. I think 4 devs. Their birthday was in August.
Around this date.
Okay, well, so the
try to find.
I guess someone mentioned August, so you'll have to type in.
Okay, sorry.
08,
I said August.
08 something something.
But it's anniversary, for sure it should be August.
Yes, of course. Like.
Well, yes. I mean, it's pretty logical that's going to be in August.
Okay, you made first hint.
Oh yeah, great. Let's change the question.
Okay, sure. I think this should be enough time for everyone to put in their answers. So the winner will be mentioned in the live stream chat. But now let's get to the Q&A section. So here's some. So we have a mix of questions we've collected from our previous anniversary live stream Q&A post on Facebook and Twitter, and your questions that you're asking right now. So let's get to the first question.
Mm-hmm.
That's by Jordan Steinke. sorry if I butchered your name. Can we get more love for industrials? Maybe the ability to reverse engineer more blueprints like drones and structured pieces. And a few of the mining support ships like the Rorqual, Orca, and Porpoise?
Yes, actually we really want to put more content to industry players. And as you know, like we will release industry decoder for this update. And in the future, we have some ideas about mining drones and also additional modules for additional structures for planetary production, and more like reverse engineering for different modules. And I can't share too much here because they are not. Some content are still to be decided, but actually we will put more attention to this part.
Okay, I mean that's great news. You know, we're going to show more love to industrial players through different ways, and we're going to give more details later on. Let's go to our second question. It's by Maurice Van Tilburg. What parts and materials will dreadnoughts need to be manufactured? I want to start working towards that goal. So I think, yeah, he wants to know, what do you need to manufacture dreadnoughts?
To be honest, we cannot share it now, but for sure in advance, before October release, we will try to share what you need to prepare. Yeah, I think it's a very important point. Yeah, thank you for this question. Yeah.
So you should know by September or early October. Jeremiah Hoffman, can you guys please make missions all high-sec? Sometimes I don't have time to be in a large group to defend myself from scanners and low that can't survive in null.
So basically, we will have relic sites, data sites in both high-sec and non-sec. This will be a very great new content for high-sec players, and also we will move some of the missions, news missions in the encounter system, move them to the high-sec region, like some missions around Tech 7 and below. And we don't want to modify too much on this, because every time you move this type of things, you are moving the ISK production around the universe. We are very carefully managing all those contents, and we are observing the data and also the feedbacks very carefully. So we cannot really change this very easily, but we will see. We will try to make everything more balanced.
So we are focusing on that. Okay, so question from Michael Honeywell. Will we be seeing the Sisters of Eve ships from EVE Online? And if so, how soon?
Okay, dear Michael Honeywell, as we said above, on the 5th of August,
he asked a question before we mentioned this, so to be fair to him.
Okay.
He didn't know.
Sorry. But we already discussed it. Mordu and Sisters of Eve debris will be available on our LP store, but you should have the highest level of access to LP store that you can reach by improving your rank, and you can now manufacture this kind of ships.
Actually, all the debris are treatable. So if you are not a fan of PvP, maybe you can use some ISK to treat from other players. That's okay.
Yeah, so you don't actually have to do faction war games. You just need to buy the debris from people who do participate in it. Good deal. Richard Lindley, will gate guns be added as a corp structure for nullsec, and do you have any update on the removal of nullsec NPC bases?
Okay, so this is two questions, and I will answer the second one first. So we don't have any plan to modify the base mechanic in the following updates. It will keep as it was for a while. And we all know that the gate gun will be will have very big influence to the non-sec environment. Like it will put a lot of stress to the gankers, to the roaming fleet. So this will be a very sensitive problem, and we need more discuss on this.
Okay. Fair enough. Atticus asks, do the devs think the economy is healthy and balanced? What red flags do the devs look for to determine when the economic faucets and sinks need to be adjusted?
Basically, the faucet and the sinks of ESC is pretty healthy right now, and but to be honest, like some faucet and sink situation of some industry products is not as good as we thought before. So basically, we have built up a data analyze system. Like we try to capture the data from some of them are from the database directly. Some of them are from some behavior logs from the player, and we have a data researcher and working on this. And when we consider about the economic system, we are more thinking of we are more talking about them in a macro way, like in a very large scope, and we will make some change on this. And Lanstad, like some players might know him through other live streams or videos or on the Discord. He is putting his time, really working hard to make this part better. And if you have any question, like you can go straight forward to him on Discord.
Great. I think we have time to now choose some questions from the chat. Let's see what we have. Okay, first question. This is related to the new player tutorial remake.
Okay.
Will everyone have to recomplete these tutorials?
No. Yeah, like maybe we didn't mention it. Yeah, you don't. No extra needs to recomplete it. Only if you're interested to check it, or like if you are players who reached some very high tech level, but and still not confident in your skills, you can complete it. But there is no extra need for a confident player to do it.
So it's optional but not required.
Yeah,
so you have the
exactly.
option to do these if you want, but you don't have to. Okay. Another second question: are we getting any more drone frigates or some Dead Space drones?
Actually, I'm a fan of drone, but we have a serious problem about drones. Like in our, technical structure, like we are putting all the drones as individual ships. Like all the drones you are used in the game, they are actually share the same data structure as a ship. Like they have modules, they have feeding slots. We just hide them. Like you are thinking you are use a very small drone, but you actually are flying 5 ships. So that's why we are very, like when we talking about the drones, we are very carefully. Like we control the number of drones very carefully. We don't want to introduce too much content about the drones because it's a little bit dangerous. Like it will put a lot of pressure to both the client and the server, and that's why you will face some bug about the drones. And every time, that's why every time we have some bad news about the combat, that's always the drones, because they are very complicated on this.
Complex server logic with a
both server and client
and server.
What we're doing, we made the drone in this way is because at the beginning we want to have more potential, to easy, kind of easy expansion, make it easier to add more content to the drone. And I mean, this part works fine. Like it will be very easy to add, like e-war drones, like mining drones, salvage drones, like even a drone to help you to loot items, because it have everything like a ship have. But we should control the number. Like the number should not be very, very large.
Okay. Thanks for that. Thanks for that answer. So, any plans to up the tech levels at some point? Maximum tech levels?
No. We Tech 10 will be the maximum level of eVehicles. But I mean the meta level, if you are familiar with the attribute system in this game, right. Like all the modules will have different meta level, and the meta level will we will have more meta level in the future. Like it depends. Like it really depends.
Okay. So I mean, tech level 10 is going to be the max. But
yes, because tech level, like it is highly relative to the accessibility of game content.
Right.
So it won't be like a very, like we won't have very large tech level in the future, because like 1 year, like we spend 1 year to reach tech 10, like and that's long enough. And in the future, like player are be more free to get in touch with other content.
Right. But I guess the way to increase the power later on will be through meta level.
Meta level.
Right. Okay. And then, okay. How do we get one of these plastic ship models?
I have the same question.
You have the same question.
Totally the same. I want to decorate my table.
Yeah, so you can get it, but besides the ships, everything else.
What about pre-order event? Like we can set up a pre-order page to see how many people want this, so we can give the order to the factory. Because basically those models are made by individual. By individuals. Like if players want this, we need a factory to produce them, and we don't have a factory for the models.
Yeah, so I mean, basically, if we can gauge like which ones everyone's interested in, then we could actually speak directly to the manufacturer and then actually get something negotiated, like how many they could make. Yeah.
Yes, that could be a very interesting option.
And then I think for other merchandise, we'll have it available online. So please wait while we get all of this beautiful merch online. Thank you so much for your patience. And what about? I mean, basically, what's like some of the most important things is just how about optimizing the game experience? Like we've mentioned like chat issues for quite some time, as well as like some UI, just kind of general UI issues with just lots of little UI issues, drone bugs, etc.
Yes. Basically, I mean, if you are familiar with the architecture of MMO game, you will know that the chatting system is running on a separate micro server instead of the main server. Like we will have multiple process to running through this. Like we received a lot of bug and feedbacks about like when you jumping through the gates, everything you are typing is interrupt, and this is basically like every time you going across the system, you are jumping from one thread to another thread, and I mean all the data will be initialized again. I mean, so and that's why like sometimes the data of the chat will be cleaned a little bit, because I mean we have local chat, we have different chat, like they are connected together. So that's why this kind of problem would happen. And actually we we have upgraded the chat system last year, and just because some reason we didn't put too much feature into our new chat system. Something like the chat history, something like the auto translation, like fundamentally, like we already have this ability to support those features. We just need more time to implement them and to test them to make sure it works fine. And also, like for the the chat problem, when you jump in the gate, some of them are caused by the Android system. It's not everything we can control. So,
right.
But we are still working deep into this.
Basically, unfortunately, it's not just a simple issue to fix. It's actually related to the server architecture and also just basically all the different devices, especially on mobile, that interact with us.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. Oh, not so great, but great. We are. We've been paying attention to this the entire time. And so for the winners of all of our giveaways, make sure you contact me, Joseph, on Discord for follow-up. And I think that's about it. Any last words for here?
I want to say like how I appreciate that our players supporting us and sharing feedbacks. Please, if we making some mistakes, still continue share feedbacks with us. But please also don't forget to share if you something like, because it's also important to be inspired by your feedbacks. And thank you for this first great year. Happy birthday to EVA Hackers. Happy birthday to all of us. Yeah. Thank you, our players.
Yes, I really appreciate all the players' support, and also I was apologize for some mistake made by the designer team. I mean, we all know that not everything is perfect, and we are still a very young team. I mean, basically, half our designers, this is their first project. That's why we have some mistakes, and we really want to solve this, and we really want to make this game great.
Dennis's first project is the faction war games, so we'll see how it goes next week. But seriously, thanks for your patience and support through the past year. We've had ups and downs, and like Mello said, we do have a younger design team, like a newer design team. But we've constantly been collecting your feedback, and we're just trying to find ways to just further improve the game, and we have a lot in store for you. So thanks for coming up here for this year, and we hope to see you in the next the 2-year anniversary.
Yeah, and don't forget that all content will be available on the 5th of August.
Right, yes, the anniversary update is next week, August 5th. Okay. Yeah.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.